Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you like the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Aja A. Welcome back to SunshinehazeCo. This is a tarot card reading. It's your typical tarot card reading for the lunar cycle. This is the Cancer lunar cycle, so we are talking beginning of July through the beginning of August. This video is for the Aries, Aries Sun, Aries Moon, and Aries Rising. So before I get started, if you feel like what I'm saying doesn't resonate with you, go on and check out your moon and or rising sign, which I do have linked down below in the description box. And before I even play myself, I'm going to get some water so I can not sound like a frog. Excuse me. Okay, so this is the typical 4-card spread, looking at the energies popping up for you guys during this lunar cycle, any crossing energies or challenges that you might be facing, what you need to be nurturing as we're dealing with the Cancer lunar cycle here, and then also a soul message or something extra for you to take away with you from this spread, okay? So let's just get started, Aries. First card that you have popping up in your spread is in the position of the energy coming up for you, or the energy that you need to be tapping into. And you've got the card of mending. And first and foremost, I want to talk about the numerology. This card resonates with the energy of the number 52, which is the energy of 7. And briefly, 5 as it resonates with change and transformation, and 2 is all about harmony and balance and coming together. And 7, this 52 breaks down to 7, which is the number of truth and divinity and spirituality. And this is the mending card. So I feel like for some of you Aries, you may have been in a position to where you either just had like a big blow up with somebody, or you're not seeing eye to eye with somebody, or you called something quits. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship or a friendship or something like that, but it could also be like a situation that you cut off, or like something that you walked away from. This card popping up here tells me that Aries, that might have been a little impulsive, and I get the sense that it was, whatever decisions you made may have been based on external influences, like somebody pushing you to, or somebody giving you some advice. And this is the important thing about advice. When we give advice, we give it from a place of experience. You can't really give somebody advice on something that you have not experienced in a certain sense. So when people are giving you advice, it's important to think about, okay, have they been through this, or are they just telling me this because I'm paying them to, or, something of the sort. Now, tarot is different. That's reading spirit. Advice is, it's like, I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to give you my 2 cents, my opinion, what I would do, because this is me. So you have to be very mindful when you make moves based off of what people tell you, or how people direct you and guide you. I always say it's cool to listen to people's advice, but ultimately you need to make your own decisions with your own heart and your own logic. So this mending card here is telling me that, Aries, you may have done something a little impulsive, and it may not necessarily be the moves that you were meant to make. But in being impulsive and making the moves that you did, you probably learned some lessons, probably picked up on some energies that you needed to. Again, everything happens for a reason and in divine timing. But with this being the mending card here, I get that, Aries, you were supposed to be tapping into some sort of something, either going back into a situation, or mending a relationship with a person, a friend, or an intimate relationship. And maybe not necessarily, if it's an intimate or a friendship, not necessarily making it the same as it was before, but at least having it end on good terms, or at least having like cordial energy in between you. Or in some of you guys' instances, it could be, you might have walked away from something, a friendship or a relationship, and you actually were not supposed to. Your emotions may have gotten the best of you. Again, remember, y'all, we are in Cancer lunar season, and especially those of y'all that ain't got water in your charts, but especially those of y'all that got fire, those are clashing energies. So y'all's emotions are just off the chain, and it's important with that fire to be mindful of being impulsive and making impulsive emotional decisions and taking impulsive emotional actions. So for some of you, there are some things that you might need to take a step back. We're in retrograde season to reflect and correct and say, okay, what did I change, but how can I change it to make things cohesive, to make things work the way that they're supposed to, so that what life am I actually supposed to be living? And you'll understand, this card resonates with the energy of the truth, so you'll see things for what they truly are and what you truly need to be doing. But something needs to be fixed, something needs to be glued back together or healed, so to speak. And I also got a message of, if it's a relationship with somebody, not necessarily romantic or a friendship, just depending, if it's a relationship, there could be negative aspects in that relationship that need to be healed, negative cords that need to be cut, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to cut yourself off from that person. If that makes sense, okay? The next card that I have coming up in your spread is in the position of the crossing energy, and you've got the Magician here. The Magician is a card all about making moves, okay, Aries? And the main message that I get here is that there's a little bit of confusion around the moves that you're making. I feel like underneath this water energy, some of you Aries are becoming submerged and letting the waves wash you away, and you're just kind of like, oh, my heart feels like this right now, so I'm gonna do this. Oh shit, shouldn't have done that, but I already did it because I was feeling like that in that moment. Well, sorry. You know what I'm saying? So for those of you Aries that are dealing with confusion around the moves that you're making, it's important to look at what this mending card is telling you. Whatever situation popped up when I started talking about that, this is probably where this Magician card is coming in to say, okay, hey Aries, you might have made a couple of moves that were not necessarily in your best interest, and now you might be, again, lost in the sauce, lost at sea, kind of like, well, oh shit, well, what do I do now? Because I already opened my mouth, or I already made this move, I already did this, so what do I do now? And with that being said, I always tell people it's important to be prideful, but it's also important to swallow your pride when need be. It's important to just be very honest about your situations and about your thoughts and your feelings, especially underneath the Cancer lunar cycle. If we can't be honest about our feelings, what can we do? You know? So if you did prematurely do some shit, just go back and say, hey, I think I might have made a mistake, or I think I might have acted impulsively based off of X, Y, and Z, and this is why, but this is what I want to do. This is what I want to fix. This is how I actually want life to look, okay? That's all I got for the Magician card for y'all. All right, Aries, the next card in your spread is in the position of what you need to be nurturing, where you need to put a little bit more love and energy and time into, and you've got the Son of Swords. So 2 messages here. For those of you Aries that are dealing with a person and all of these messages are resonating with some sort of relationship or friendship, there could be an air sign individual, Gemini, Aquarius, what's the other one, Libra, that you may need to mend some things with. You may need to say, hey, I might have acted impulsively. I actually want to X, Y, Z, but we need to talk about A, B, and C, and life needs to go D, E, and F. And the Son of Swords is an air card. This is not a graceful energy, and the Son of Swords is kind of like he's just coming in with it. So this card is telling me that it could be based off of how this person was acting, and you were just kind of like, listen, I can't do this shit. I'm not dealing with you, but you are supposed to be dealing with this person, or you are supposed to be mending something, or you're supposed to be picking up on some sort of energy or learning something from this person. And this is somebody that you may need to be talking to, or you might need to be around, or you might need to fix some shit with during this lunar cycle, okay? On the other hand, the Son of Swords is, like I said, not a very graceful energy. It comes in, this is the Knight of Swords, it comes in with a message. It comes in with this air energy, this intellect, this logic. So where you need to be putting your energy, Aries, during this lunar cycle, especially because I was talking about earlier acting on so much emotion with y'all being fire and this being water energy surrounding you, you need to put a little bit more of your energy into your logic. And before you start making moves, especially impulsive ones, think about what you're doing, think about what you're saying, think about how you're coming across and how you're communicating. That's very important for you during this lunar cycle. Again, you attract more, I don't know what the saying is, but something about bees and honey. Like you attract more shit with honey than vinegar. I don't know, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Just be very mindful of how you're doing things and put your energy into thinking before acting during this lunar cycle. Okay, that's very important for you guys. And the last card that I have coming up for you Aries people in this spread is in the position of the soul message. I think Capricorn got this card too in the same position. You've got Coral, which resonates with the energy of nurturing things, and this comes in with the energy of 45, which breaks down to 9, which is new cycles, which is ascension. And I keep picking up on this energy, Aries, of there being a situation or being a relationship with somebody that is not necessarily over, but the way that it has been going needs to cease. But in order for that to cease, you need to put energy into, you need to nurture what it really needs to look like and feel like. And that is a big thing with this Cancer lunar cycle energy. So for those of y'all, if this spread was resonating with you, that person or that situation that you walked away from, that you were just like, I'm not doing this right now, this is not it, circle back. Retrograde season. Also, that could have been why you acted so impulsively too. We are dealing with retrograde. Circle back. It's retrograde season. Reflect and correct. Okay, this is what was not working for me, my G. This is why I acted like that. This is why I said all that. I actually do want this to play out like this. I actually want this situation to turn out like this. I actually want this relationship to look like this. But in order for me to stay, or in order for me to put my work or my time or my energy into this again, you need to make sure that you are doing this, and we need to make sure that we build upon it like this, or it needs to look like this in order for me to do this work, or whatever the situation may be. Okay, Aries. And that's it. That's all I got for you. So just be very mindful about the way that you're communicating during this lunar cycle, and also be very honest with what you want, and be very honest with whoever's involved and whatever's going on with how you need things to look. And also come out of your shadow side and own up to your hand, your part in things, okay? Because I already know. Y'all ain't even got to say it. I already know. All right, y'all. That is your reading. Hope that it resonated with you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down below. If you want your own personal reading, you can book one with me. I've got my information linked down below as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh, also check out the Cancer lunar cycle so you can get a little bit more insight into what type of energies we're dealing with collectively with this Cancerian lunar energy influence. And that is all I had to say. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch y'all next time.